Hey YouTube, Steve here from Vegas Westside Shooters, showing off my new purchase. The other day I was in Northwest Arms, which has a pretty good used gun selection, and I noticed that they had a chrome finish Mark XIX Desert Eagle, which apparently the previous customer purchased it and brought it back the following day to trade in on a Smith & Wesson 500. So I got it deeply discounted, and so his loss is my gain. The only thing I don't like about this is it does only come with a single huge beefy magazine, because this is in 50 Action Express, and these magazines are not cheap. I looked on gunbroker.com and they go for around $100 a pop. So that's a pretty expensive magazine, considering it's a pretty basic 7-round magazine. But so that's really the only thing. But I mean, if you're purchasing this a Desert Eagle, you're not doing it because you're trying to save money. The bullets are expensive, the magazines are expensive, and the gun's expensive. So that's not what this gun is all about. This gun is all about power and having some fun at the range. It's a very basic, comes with an owner's manual and a DVD. There's a magazine disassembly tool, and also this tool is used to take apart the slide to get the bolt out of the slide. One interesting thing I found out reading the manual on this gun when I disassembled and reassembled it is this gun actually has a rotating bolt very much like an AR-15, and it uses a short piston gas system as opposed to a direct blowback or a recoil operated. This is a bolt operated system, which is supposed to mitigate the recoil a little bit. Also, it has dual recoil spring system, which mitigates that a little bit too. The other issue with this gun, expense-wise, obviously, is the ammunition. And I'll show you here is some Hornady XTP 300 grain 50 AE bullets, and this thing is just ginormous. Just for comparison's sake, I pulled out a 9mm so you can see what a pipsqueak this thing is compared to the 50 AE. It is just ridiculous, and of course, because it's huge, it's using a lot of copper, a lot of powder, a lot of brass. This round they generally run for somewhere around $1.50 a round. So shooting this thing at the range is going to be a pretty expensive proposition, but you only live once. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just test the trigger pull. It is a hammer fired single action only firearm. Let's give that a whirl here. We'll safety check it. Okay, magazine's out, it's empty. Let's cock the hammer, and let's give it a little. Let's give it a little test with the Lyman trigger pull gauge. So 5 pounds 2 ounces. Let's try it again here. So 5 pounds 10 ounces. So I'm going to say, I've actually did the trigger gauge a few times before making the video, and I would say generally between 5 and 6 pounds. I did get one that was 4 pounds 10 ounces, but depends on where you put the little hook on the trigger. Depends on how much torsion you're putting on it. So you can get different results putting it on the face of the trigger or the toe of the trigger. In general, I would say 5.5 to 6 pound trigger pull, which is a pretty mild trigger pull for a gigantic gun like this. Anyways, this is my new Desert Eagle. We're going to pop it out to the range in the next couple days as soon as the winds here die down, and have some fun, so we hope you stick with us. Alright, we're out at the range, and we're going to shoot Big Daddy here. First time I'm shooting it, so I'm pretty excited. We are going to use some Hornady 300 grain. This is the custom 300 grain XTP, and then we're going to use some Arms Core, also has a 300 grain XTP. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, you can pretty much tell they're the same bullet, pretty much the same case. One says Hornady, one doesn't. So that's pretty much the only difference is that this one says Hornady on the head stamp and this one doesn't. Otherwise they look pretty much identical, and it's the same exact bullet. So we're going to try, first we're going to shoot some Hornady through the chronometer, and then we'll shoot. So I think what I'll do is I'll load up the arms core, 3 rounds of this and then 3 rounds of the Hornady, so the Hornady will feed first, and we're going to shoot these through the chronometer. There we go. Well, definitely the Hornady brass is a little bit shinier, nicer looking brass. Maybe a little thicker, it's hard to say. Once I shoot them and I have the empty brass, I'll compare them. This is a 7-round magazine, but even getting number 6 in there is a little bit of a challenge. So, all right, let's go shoot this through the chronometer and see how these bullets fly. Okay, from 3 yards, first up the Hornady, then the arms core. Okay. Try not to kill the chronometer. $13.55. $13.53. $14.02. Okay, now these will be the arms core. No, that's definitely not reading properly. Okay, we'll try that again. Well, 1350 to 1400 for the Hornady, and the chronometer went bonkers, probably from the incredible shock wave from this thing. So I can tell you that the arms core feels pretty similar to the Hornady in power generated and recoil. All right. Well, it just wouldn't be a Desert Eagle video without blowing something up, would it? right, back from the range, and boy, I had a hell of a time shooting the Desert Eagle 50 Mark 19 stainless. This was a lot of fun. This gun has a very manageable recoil, considering that it's a hand cannon and the amount of energy that's coming out of this thing. And I think that's because of the gas system and the way the bolt works and the weight of the gun. It really helps a lot. But boy, did this thing throw out some energy. I shot. We had some trouble with the chronometer on the last 3 rounds, but the first 3 rounds basically came out around between 13 and 1400 foot-pound. Excuse me, 1300 to 1400 feet per second, propelling a 300 grain bullet, and I calculated it out to somewhere between 12 and 1300 foot-pounds of energy. Just to give you a comparison, the 44 Magnum that I have firing the Winchester 240 grain bullet, which was a pretty high energy projectile, fired the 240 grain bullet at around 1150 or 1200 feet per second, and it was around 1250 feet per second, I think, and it came out to 900 and something foot-pounds of energy. So this is another 30% more energy than the 44 Magnum, and you're getting at 12 to 1300 foot-pounds of energy. You're getting up into rifle range. I think my AR and my AK are somewhere around that range. So this is an unbelievably powerful handgun, and it's just a load of fun to shoot. And I also wanted to show, here's the water containers that I shot. This one you can see there's the entry hole right there, and the exit. It basically split the entire case there, and I think, let's see, oh yeah, there. Through here you can see the entry hole through there, and then the other case, it entered here somewhere through here, split this, and then the entire back of the water bottle opened up. So these are 2.5 gallon water bottles. I've shot them with plenty of different rounds, and they definitely rupture with rifle rounds. They rupture with the bigger handgun rounds, but this is about the most damage that I've seen from these 300 grain hollow points. So I just can't say enough good stuff about this gun. It's a lot of fun to shoot. It's plenty accurate. It's just tremendously powerful. You just feel the power when you're holding this. The only caveat to that is the ammo is just very expensive. It's the cheapest ammo I could find was around $1.50 a bullet, and it's hard to find too. Several stores I went to don't carry 50 AE at all. So you can find it online, and you can find different brands and stuff. They ask you, or I shouldn't say they ask you, in the gun owner's manual, they recommend against using lead bullets because it will foul up the gas port. So you're pretty much stuck with jacketed copper bullets, and those are going to be pricey. Other than that, I think everybody should have one of these things. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully we'll catch you the next time. This is Steve from Vegas Westside Shooters. Thanks for watching.